Hi YouTube, it's me. Sorry. Today I went for a ride on my horse, Cricket, and it was all going great. Me and her had overcome a giant milestone. It was great. And suddenly it all changed. I was riding her out the arena gate on the far side closest to the street, and she freaked out. We were doing so well, but a flock of birds that flew out of the stall next to us, completely had her freaked out. So that being said, I was thrown really bad. I was on her bareback, and there were Joshua trees right by where she was freaking out. And for those of you who don't know what a Joshua tree is, it's a cactus-like tree with very sharp, knife-like burrs on them, I guess you'd call them. And I've heard of people dying from being thrown off a horse and landing on a Joshua tree because they can sever your spinal cord, they can sever an artery, you can die. So I was like, I'm gonna try to ride this out. How bad could it be? How bad could this possibly end up? Well, I felt her doing what she did to me last Thanksgiving. She was bucking, kicking, and then I felt it. She was going to plant her front feet and give the one last buck and launch me over her head. So I was like, okay, I'm clear from the Joshua tree now. So I was going to try to do an emergency dismount. It didn't exactly work out that way because she was already planting her feet. But she got me pretty bad. I knew enough to arch my back, tuck my head under, because I wasn't wearing a helmet. Stupid me. Didn't think of it, didn't think I needed it. And so my back was arched out like this. So my mid-back and low back hit the ground first, which knocked the wind out of me. And then after that, my hips and my legs, and then my neck and my head. And I looked up, and I saw her two front hooves about to come down on my head. So I went like this, just out of instinct to try to stop it. And they say life flashes before your eyes, and that's completely 100% true. I saw my boyfriend, I saw Cricket, I saw my family, I saw everything that I had achieved with Cricket and everything that I wanted to achieve with her. And I just said, oh God, I'm gonna die. This is gonna be it. And somehow her hooves came down just to the side of my head. Literally, right here. And she didn't land on me. By some miracle, she didn't land on me. I could have died right there. And I never would have even got to live my life. As it is, I am very bruised. My ribs are bruised. My right shoulder is very bruised. My low back and my hips are bruised, and I'm on very strong pain medication, so excuse me if I look kind of bleh in this video. But, so that happened. And then one of the volunteers at the ranch, because I board her at a Mustang rescue by my house, so one of the boarders at the ranch called my mom and was like, you need to get down here, she's been thrown, it's really bad. My mom was terrified, which rightfully to be. I mean, she pulled up and I was laying on the ground, on my back, not moving. but sometimes, I don't know. Anyway, so then my mom tells me, call your boyfriend, we're taking you to the emergency room. I'm like, okay. I'm like, not really all there. I didn't hit my head, but I think my body was just in so much shock right then that I was just like, whoa. I couldn't really process stuff. I don't have a concussion, anything, but at that moment I could not process anything. So I called my boyfriend and I was like, I guess we're not going out to lunch. I got bucked off my horse. He had texted me 10 minutes earlier, I love you, be careful, riding cricket. And 10 minutes later, boom. So I called him. I was passed out in the back seat of the car, screaming in pain. I wasn't even aware that I was screaming. I was just like, oh my gosh, this really hurts. But, so that happened. We picked up my boyfriend, went to the emergency room. I got seen right away, luckily by a doctor who knew horses. How come every time I get bucked off my horse, like, the doctors know? I guess I'm just lucky that way, because I live in the city. Doctors shouldn't know squat about horses. But they did, so that's cool. My hair's bugging me. Sorry, random moment. But yeah, so then after about 4 hours in the emergency room, I was released. Nothing was broken. I'm just really bruised. I am hurting. I'm on muscle relaxers and pain medication, and I have a really low tolerance to pain medication. So I can like take an ibuprofen and I'll be like super like, woo, loopy. Ow. Anyway, so that's kind of like how I am right now. I'm like being super ADD and everything, but yeah, so that happened. Then I had to babysit. Luckily, my boyfriend took care of most of it. My nephew decided, oh, I'm going to try to walk today. No, your mom's not home. So I just now like got home after a super long day. And on the way home, my mom expressed to me that I'm being bucked off more than normal. And I looked at her and I said, excuse me? Did you just say I'm being bucked off more than normal? There's no normal when it comes to horses. Everything is an individual set. There's no average. You can have a horse that never bucks once in its life. You can have a horse that bucks every time you try to get on it. She's like, well, what about ground manners? That's ground manners. That's on the ground. A horse can be fine with something when you're on the ground with it. You walk by it when you're on their back and they'll come completely unglued, which is what happened. Granted, my horse has terrible ground manners, but I don't know. I'm the only horse person in my family besides my uncle, and I can't really talk to my uncle anymore, but days like that, I wish I could just call him and be like, Uncle Bob. He had a Morgan mare all of her life. He knows the craziness. He knows everything about Morgans. He knows how crazy they are. But my parents don't. No one in my family does. Now I'm being pressured, you should just sell her. She's going to kill you. Granted, I've been riding since I was 8. I'm 18 now. I've never been that scared that my horse is going to kill me or kill someone else. So, this is really hard. So yeah, this video is already 9.5 minutes long. Thanks for watching. This is my first vlog. Bye.